What if I decide to detransition? What if I was a woman who became a man, a lesbian who became a guy that was bi and gay and straight and queer? What if I then went back to being a woman? Wouldn't I be somebody you would really want to have coffee with? Your sex, how you're born, your body, is different from your gender, which is your identity and how you feel about yourself and how you move through the world and how the world perceives you. Those things are actually totally separate categories and they don't have to match up. For most people they do, but not for everybody. I am queer, so I'm gay, straight, used to be a lesbian, I'm all of the things. I really wanted to be polyamorous. I think it's wonderful to love all kinds of people, as many as you want. I personally am set for monogamy. Yes and no. I'm all kinds of men in one. I'm like the dude who's just zoned out on his phone, on the couch, and I'm also the dude who dresses really well and has to shop for that. I definitely hold my wife's purse. I have no problem holding it. I would hold a purse for myself if I could find the right one. It's so stereotypical to say this, but my favorite color, well, my favorite colors are blue and pink. If you mean my genital surgery, which you do mean, A, that's really rude to ask. Super rude. Like, what have you done to your genitals lately? B, not all of us have genital surgery. Some of us are okay with the genitals we have. Some of us can't afford to have the genital surgery. Some of us wouldn't want to anyway because it's like a really big deal surgery. We can have top surgery or bottom surgery. Bottom surgery can mean all kinds of things. They have a thing called a metoidioplasty. That's where they take the genital organ that's already, right, sitting up here, and they cut the tendon so that it hangs forward. The clitoris actually gets bigger when you start doing testosterone, so it gets to a size, since size matters. You can also have silicone balls inserted into the labia, like those high bounce balls. Pew! You can have these balls inserted into your labia, which then creates what looks like a scrotum, so that when they look down, it looks like there's a penis there, and that is their penis. And this is the thing that we have to think about. For a lot of trans guys, a lot of guys don't call what they were born with their vagina. That's really triggering. The sexiest conversation you can have with a person is, what do you call that, and how should I touch it? I understand that this is really hard for people to get. For as much as we think about what gender is, we are the intellectual equivalent of kindergartners, because that's the last time most people ever really think about gender. I'm a boy and you're a girl, and that's what that means. What does that mean? Have you given it any thought since then? What makes you think you're an authority? I don't think transition ever really stops, but I think that for all people, right, we are all transitioning all the time. Some of you are transitioning in age. Some of you are transitioning from one kind of body to another, and that doesn't just have to do with your gender. So the greatest joy about transitioning is really being like consciously aware of the fact that we're always transitioning and life is a moment by moment process that we are really in. Why would you be afraid or threatened of me? I mean, come on. Okay, maybe you feel threatened because you think that I'm trying to like make the world into my transgender agenda. My transgender agenda is to like love the people I love, do things that are meaningful and good and that help the world, be able to have a job, which is hard for trans people. I think transgender people are some of the strongest, most insightful people anywhere because we've examined ourselves. We've really looked inward. We really know who we are at a deeper level than most people will ever investigate in their entire lives. And yes, that's difficult to do. It's why most people don't do it, but it is so worth it to know who you are and to be able to be in that truth and live your truth. I mean, that's what life is all about. Boom!
Yes.
For every guy that thinks that a penis is what makes a man, there are about half a dozen really unsatisfied exes.